Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IV with me, jrpg, and so much happened in the last episode I don't know where to begin. We found out that Golbez is Cecil's brother, and has been this whole time. Both Cecil and Golbez are descendants of the Lunarian Kluya, who was the spirit at the trial of Mount Ordeals that imbued Cecil with the power to be a paladin. Now, we are currently on the moon, and we have one thing that I want to do here right away. All that's between us now and the end of the game is the final dungeon, but let's go ahead and fix our party. And let's check out Kane's loadout. He now has the Gungnir, which is a very good lance. It has fat damage and grants plus 15 stamina, and a bunch of samurai gear, which is pretty good as well, although it lacks the resistances of the elemental gear, but we're just going to not worry about that anymore. We're just going to go with maximum defense and magic defense. Now let's get Cecil leading the party again, and we're going to go ahead and fly over to a cave that I mentioned in the last episode. This is yet another optional dungeon, and it's right over here. Now, we're going to find some pretty sweet gear in here, and the enemies are going to be very, very powerful. But we are now in our final party configuration. Which means we want to kind of just clean up anything left to do in the game. Of which there are about, I would say, 2 things between us and the final dungeon, and this is going to be the first. This is Cave Bahamut. And oh man, is this exciting. We're gonna find some brand new gear for Cecil. Samurai shield. So, Cecil and Kane get to match now, which is pretty exciting. And these are all gonna be ever so slightly better, but they do lack the elemental resistance. But we're just gonna not worry about that. We're gonna use the cool endgame gear. And yeah, the enemies in here are no joke. These red giants are like, and warlocks and carries are like, final dungeon enemies. So what we're gonna do in here is, get in as many random battles as we possibly can. Because our target level is, I would say, middle 50s. And even that is going to make the last boss... Oh dear. That might KO him. Oh, not quite. Okay. But even being in the middle 50s is gonna make the last boss tense. I will say that. Alright, let's get Kane topped up. But fortunately, this is a fantastic place to grind because the rewards in here are just staggering. And I realized that I didn't want to go to the right yet, because there is a treasure box right over this way. I could have grabbed it on the way back out, because I am going to walk out of here in an effort to get in those random battles. But I'd rather just have it now. Get our, Cecil and Kane's matching outfits going. I once read a funny comment that was like, all RPGs are a group of people progressively becoming more and more stylish until they're stylish enough to take on the extra stylish final boss. And I think that's absolutely true. Right, samurai armor, let's go ahead and put that on. Can you believe we're still wearing the paladin helmet? It's entirely possible that there was a helmet that I could have gotten before now that would have been an upgrade. Ooh, Gingryus are new. These guys aren't too threatening, but they are final boss enemies, so they're final dungeon enemies, so they are pretty cool. And if I can say anything about Golbez, it's that Kain always comes back super decked out. So he is quite stylish, but we can finally get rid of this stupid paladin helmet and put on a cool samurai outfit. And best friends match. Now right up here, there's going to be a trapped tile, which reminds me very much of the very first game, so I love these. Here we go. This is a Behemoth. And these guys are kind of a nightmare unless you know exactly how to deal with them. What they are just counterattack dudes. So this is the rare instance in which we're going to actually use the parry command. Woof. This is the kind of battle where a spell like Protect would have been amazing and very, very helpful. But we're just gonna do 2 attacks at a time with Cecil and Kain. Everybody else is just gonna defend because their attacks aren't strong enough to justify a counterattack from the Behemoth. Wow, he just keeps targeting Cecil. That makes my job a little bit easier, honestly, but I'm gonna make sure he's at full health. 1200 actually isn't very much. And I did say when we did the tutorial fight with the Mist Dragon that that mechanic would never come up again, but that wasn't exactly true. Because it very much does with these guys. However, they don't change forms or anything, but the point is that it is like a counterattack fight. I'm gonna hold off and just get like a Cure 3 down. But between, like, Behemoths and Asura, actually, the tutorial fight is quite relevant in this game. So I'm going to take back some of the things I said. I'm getting antsy. I think I'm just going to throw the jump down. Because I feel like the Behemoth is almost finished. There we go. Not too tough. And you get 65,000 gil and 11,000 XP for those guys, which is just fantastic. Let's get Kain topped up, and then we can continue. Alright, just a bit beat up, nothing too bad there. And we've got to deal with a couple more of these guys before we're done in here. And we're going to deal with them the same way as last time. Even with parry on, that's just so damaging. It's ridiculous. 1,200. I'm telling you, if I could get Protect going, I could probably be attacking with, like, more than one person at a time. However, eventually we're going to level out of these guys being crazy difficult. But not for now. All right, 120 is good. Good defense, Rydia. And I'll try and make this as quick as I can, but this is the technique. And I do want to show all these guys, because they are a little bit of a resource drain. However, the fact is that no matter how careful you are, and no matter how much you level up, what we're going to encounter at the end of this cavern is going to be insane. But we'll see that in just a little bit. We are almost to the end. D-bones are due, so we can leave this in. I feel like this guy's exact design is in Final Fantasy VI. We'll just hit him with a Fire 3, why not? And I'm in for that. We are a little bit low on MP, so we may need to ether up a little bit. But I think that's going to be fine. That ought to do it. Goodbye. Yeah, let's just go ahead and use a few ethers on Rosa. That should be good. And a couple for Rydia, too. Get Kane topped up, because we have one more Behemoth to deal with. He's going to be right over here. All right, this is our last Behemoth. God, 1,100 damage. Come on. It's just brutal. And, you know, I would say that these are supposed to be a resource drain, but I don't even think that's it. Because your resources don't actually end up mattering. At least not really. But we'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute here. I do like that they give the Behemoths their own boss music, despite the fact that they're not really bosses. Alright, down he goes. And here we are. What do you need, this kid says. Oh, you're a half... And I think what she's getting at is you're a half Lunarian. But she never finishes her sentence, so I don't know. So you've defeated Leviathan, but it could have been done without the power of light. Whether you possess the true light or not, I, Bahamut, the king of us monsters, will judge. That's right, we're gonna fight Bahamut. And so what he's gonna do is a countdown. And what we're gonna try to do is deal as much damage as we possibly can. Now, I didn't actually know this. What I used to do is just jump with Kane and have his attack miss, but you can actually wall it. And that's going to work out quite nicely. But if you time Kane's jump right, he won't be here for the attack, and it will miss, and then you can just kind of do that over and over to defeat him. But the wall way is much, much faster. Unfortunately, you're only going to be able to get off about 2 casts of wall. And I do it on basically party members who are not Kane, because there is a reasonable chance that he just won't be there for the attack that he's going to do. However, it's looking like he will be. We are outputting a decent amount of damage, so his walled attack should end up killing him. And you'll notice that I'm dancing around describing what it is, because I want it to be a surprise. It's coming, though. Yep, here it is. Mega Nuke. And that will absolutely destroy you if you don't have wall up. I guess I don't know why the wall on Rosa didn't work. Maybe it was too many turns. But either way, we've defeated Bahamut. And he says, I have indeed seen your strength and will. You can call my name when you need my help, Rydia, who is currently dead. And that is gonna be your ultimate summon. So let's go ahead and use one of those life potions we found and get Rosa back up. And you know what? I'm just going to burn another elixir, because I'm going to need her healing on the way out of here. Because we're going to be doing a little bit of quote-unquote grinding, although we are just walking out. But we could just cast exit and get out of here right now, but I do want to get in a few more random battles in here. We're getting close to the target level. We're about eight or so levels away, I'd say. And one thing I want to mention, I think this is actually the last cut thing from the Japanese version, and being on the moon is a perfect time to mention it. In the original scenario, they had this idea for something called the Lunar Ruins, which ended up making it in to the Game Boy Advance version of this game. And the idea was to sort of have a dungeon where each party member would kind of progress on their own, where you'd have to kind of split up. The idea for the Lunar Ruins got cut from this version of the game, and I am an originalist, like, I prefer this version, but I will admit that some of the things that they did with the Game Boy Advance version sound really cool. And managing to include that is definitely one of them. It reminds me a little bit of, like, the Phoenix Cave, or the final dungeon of Final Fantasy VI. Did I get turned around? Sometimes when I'm flapping my lips about nonsense, I, end up walking aimlessly, but I think we're good. I think this is where we want to go. And the other thing that sounds really cool in the Game Boy Advance version is that at this point in the game, now that Edward and Yang and Sid are all out of bed and helped you fight the Giant of Babel, there's sort of like a party select thing. Like, we're locked into this party, we can't ever change it. But it does sound cool to be able to, if you wanted to, switch some people out. And now we are currently done with the moon, other than the final dungeon, but we do want to pop back to Earth, because there is one thing there that we haven't done yet, and that's visit the basement of the Castle Baron. So let's swing back by Earth and get that out of the way. And we'll just take our giant spaceship that's the size of the castle. And let's go ahead and use our free in, because why not? And now that we've been to the land of summoned monsters, we can check out the basement. And just as a reminder, this is the guy that was hearing the voices. I hear voices from the basement. I'm scared. Well, we're gonna go investigate that right now. And maybe by investigate, I mean resolve it. We've already investigated it once, right? The king says, welcome back. Your Majesty. The king says, don't be sad. The monster got to me, but I have gained the eternal powers to help you. The Caller of Mist can summon me whenever you please, but first, of course, I must test you. And check it out, it's Odin. Now we're gonna do as much damage as we possibly can. But what you really need for this fight is Lit 3. And we remember the clue that we found in the Land of Summoned Monsters that the only time Odin lost was when a bolt of lightning hit his sword. Yeah, let's go ahead and use a Blitz. And Lit 3 is going to do some pretty fat damage here. Yep, straight 9s. However, that's not quite the end, but we'll get there pretty quickly, I think. There we go. Down he goes. Not too tough at all once you've got Lit 3 at your disposal. The king says you have grown. This world is dependent on you, and I shall fight with you as Odin. And the Cecil says, Your Majesty. And Odin's really cool. He has a 50% chance to deal instant death to all enemies, but it doesn't work on bosses. However, I find it a little bit unreliable, and I just stick with Bahamut mostly. So I don't really love it, but we will cast it at some point. Now we have one final thing to do on Earth before we go ahead and tackle the final leg of the game. And that is, of course, heading back to the underground one last time. But oh man, is it exciting to get to this final dungeon. It's really, really good. It is appropriately the longest and most complex dungeon in the game, and definitely the most challenging. So let's get back at the controls of the Blue Whale, and we need to find our regular airship so we can get to the underground. Unfortunately, as cool as it would be, you can't take this one into the underground. You know what? I told you I would show you how to dupe items a long time ago, right? And I just haven't felt like I've had the opportunity because there's been so many battles that I just don't want to run away from, and part of the trick is running away from the fight. But we're going to do it right now. So what you do is, we'll just select an empty spot in our inventory. Then we'll go ahead and select, like, let's say the Gungnir. And then we immediately run away. And now, let's check out our inventory. There it is. And you might be thinking, I thought you said this was going to duplicate it. Well, check this out. When we put it back on, all of a sudden, there are two. So now we can unequip it, equip it again, and we have a duplicate in our inventory. And now, I, of course, am not going to abuse that. but it is a really, really sick way to make Edge's Dart Command, like, completely insane. Like, you can just keep duplicating things like Excalibur's, and he could just be chucking those all game. You can make yourself have a really, really easy time, and you can kind of get, like, infinite money out of it as well. But we're headed back to Kolkol's. And I'm just going to go ahead and discard the Gungnir because I don't want to take advantage of that glitch, but it is a pretty famous glitch, and I feel like it's worth showing. But we're, of course, not going to abuse it. What we are going to do, though, is visit this shop, because now the attendant says, "Lolly ho, boss made this." We can buy ninja stars, and they are 50,000 apiece, which is very, very expensive, but they are very, very good. So what we're going to do is just sell everything we've got on us, and we're going to buy 1,000,000 of those. Sadly, we're going to sell our Aegis shields. I'm not going to sell anything throwable. I do believe I can actually throw these, so I'm going to hang on to those. And we're, of course, going to hang on to all of our uniques until the end of the game. I'm not 100% sure these are throwable, but I think so. But we've got enough money for now where we can buy 16 ninja stars, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and sort our inventory, and that's basically what we've been saving our money for the entire game. Make sure I didn't miss anything. We do still have the frying pan, but I think I'll just hold on to that forever. I love it so much. And now we're all done with the underground. We are actually never coming back here. Okay. Whoops, where did I leave the big whale? Over here. Let's go ahead and get back to the moon. And it's time to hit the final dungeon. You know what? Let's hit the inn, our free inn, before we go. Let's go indeed. It is final dungeon time. Now we've got to take the lunar path again to get there. And I will definitely be fighting every single one of the battles I get in. Oh, we haven't shown this formation, so we got the slime, tofu, and the pudding. So we'll go ahead and leave this one in. I'm just gonna, like, blitz and hope that kills them all, I guess. Will it work? Cool. Oh man, this is exciting. Can you feel it? I know I can. I'm getting so hyped. And so this spot right here, right next to the free HP and MP refill is also another great spot to grind. It's not maybe the best rewards, but it is like the safest place. But we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna kind of straight up go for it. But I will tell you this is going to be challenging. So now, right behind Fusuya's chamber is going to be another chamber. And here we see all the crystals. The Tower of Babel was destroyed, and Zemus' field has been lifted. Path is opened. You will find weapons that once endangered the lives of the Lunarians sealed with Zemus below here. And we will be very interested in those. We shall guide you to the path that leads to the core. Go toward the core. Oh, we will. We will be headed directly to the core, in fact. Even Fusuya should have a hard time fighting against Zemus, who has increased his psychic powers. Yeah, he is a powerful foe indeed. Between our conflicting powers exists an enormous amount of energy. Yep, crystals do contain lots and lots of energy. All of our powers are used to neutralize the powers of Zemus from the core. And despite all that, he is still wildly powerful. Fusuya and Pluya's son went inside, and they've been in for quite a long time. That is not good news, in fact. But here we go. Are you ready? Let's do it. We shall guide you to the path that leads to the core. And this is just the perfect soundtrack to the final dungeon. Oh, man. Now, like I said, this is long and difficult. There's going to be all kinds of secret passages all over the place, and all kinds of sweet, sweet loot. Fortunately, the secret passages are kind of made visible because a lot of them are sideways, so there's a little notch in the wall that will tell you where they're at. In our first one, these are all monsters we've met before. Not too bad. We should be able to handle this no problem. Do I want to do that? Let's just parry. I do definitely want to watch my MP count in here, because what we came in with is all we got. There is not going to be an item shop. There's not going to be any help whatsoever. So we need to be a little bit stingy. But we also have to fight every single battle in here if we're going to hope to be the right level to take on the last boss. So this is going to be tricky. I would suggest, if you're playing this at home, to get to about level 50 before you even start. Then you'll be guaranteed to just have a straight shot to the boss and have no problems. But we are taking a little bit of a risk here. But I definitely do want there to be, like, some tension. I don't want to just walk in there and steamroll the final boss. That's never fun. I mean, it's fun, I guess, like, for your own satisfaction. Bunch of level ups there, and we get the life staff, which is not too exciting, I would say. But it does give plus 15 spirit and does cast life if you use it as an item. And this path over to my left just kind of loops around. You kind of can't see it, but there are two little notches in the wall. It doesn't actually go anywhere. It's just to fake you out. Alright, we're going to go ahead and top up. And keep going. Oh boy, here we go. Now this is one of many challenge fights in here. And remember how I said we're never going to need float again? Well, that wasn't exactly true. We will need it for this one. Let's make sure we're ready to go for this. All right, let's do it. Go to the eternal gloom of Dark World before you can touch this blade. Let's go. And so this is Pale Dim. He's basically a white dragon. But one of the things he's gonna do is counterattack us with Quake. But we're just gonna use pure boss fight strats on him. In fact, I'm gonna do a Cure 4 to make sure nobody dies. And I think that's enough Ninja Stars for now. And between some attacks and Bahamut, we should be okay. Look at that damage. Oh, yeah. Yep, there's Quake, but it's not gonna hurt us, because we are floating through the air. And slow is, like, totally fine. I don't like it, but considering it doesn't deal any damage for a challenge fight like this, I am fine with that if he wants to do that every turn. Yep, let's give him another one, just to speed this up. Although we could probably just physically attack him to death at this point. I like the White Dragon. I think he's cool, but I don't want to hang out with him for too long. Another Bahamut. Will this do it? It's gotta be close. There we go. Alright, 11,000 XP for our trouble. And what do we get? The Murasame. This is a really, really powerful katana for Edge. And it's gonna grant +5 strength, stamina, and intelligence, -5 agility and spirit. So let's go ahead and put it on. Look at that. Sweet. And it was supposed to cast Protect when used as an item, but obviously Protect isn't in the game, so it doesn't do anything. And now we just gotta head all the way back to where we came from. Which is a little bit of a hike, but honestly, it's a good thing because we need those levels up. Like, badly. I am definitely going to end up cutting this very, very close. I feel like I've mentioned that already, but you know, I'm just a little bit nervous. Because let me tell you something. There's nothing worse in an RPG than getting to the final boss and losing. You know, you get to hear, like, all the dramatic final dialogue, and then you get in there and he just levels you. But I'm gonna give you a guarantee right now that that's not gonna happen to us. We're gonna get in there and we're gonna win. Ooh, and Rosa finally learned Holy. Perfect. We're right on track. This spell is very, very good, and it's really cool looking, too. I wish that I would have gotten a chance to cast a few more endgame spells with Fusuya, but you spend so little time with him. Double Red Giant. This one is not a big deal, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use a Blitz. Doing a number on Rydia right off the bat, but we can just drop a Limb 3. We are kind of chewing through MP at a reasonable rate. So I'm going to want to watch that. But I think it's going to be fine. We do have, I think, 15 elixirs, which should be all right. These guys just have a ton of HP. Man, look at that. He's still up. Maybe Rosa can take him out? Good job, Rosa. And then I think I'm just going to attack this one to death. Despite the fact that it will take longer. This place is a marathon. It is not a sprint, so... But man, they just sit there and tank it. Look at that. All right. And what do we get for this one? Ah, the ninja garb. Cool. That's going to be for Edge, obviously.
It's only going to be +3 agility, so it's maybe actually a little bit worse, like, stat-wise than the black belt, but I'll take the extra defense.
All right. Now we got to trek all the way back to the start. And it does feel like the circular way this place is designed is supposed to help you get a little bit of grinding in. But you can definitely find yourself underprepared for the final boss. He is no joke. No joke. Now, I know you see that treasure box floating in the abyss over there. Let's go get it. The Flame Whip. And honestly, I think this thing is kind of worse than the Blitz, but I'm going to put it on anyway. It's a little bit more attack, a little bit more defense. And the defense is what I'm really concerned with. And what will we find in here? The Dragoon Shield. Now, these are actually dragon armor. I don't know why they got translated to Dragoon, but because it's called Dragoon, we're going to put it on Kain, but these are just fantastic. Just like the dragon armor from the original game, they have, like, resistance to everything. They're just so good. All right, basement number 3. Ooh, King Ryus are new. These dudes are strong, and they cast Paralyze a lot, which can be very, very annoying. Let's go ahead and... You know what? Why don't we try an Odin out? Yeah, why not? We'll see if he can slice him up. Yep. Deleted. 12,000 XP for those. And there is nothing on this side. And I don't think there's anything on the other side either, but we'll check it anyway. Yep, so let's head down. Let's take this little hidden passage over here. Ah, Dragoon Helmet. Let's put that on. And this is all, of course, going to be an upgrade over his samurai gear. All the gear in here is going to be amazing. And we definitely want to pick up this one over here. Dragoon armor. Fantastic. And Dragoon arms. And that is the whole outfit. Suddenly, Kain is more stylish than Cecil. But don't worry, we're going to change that very, very soon. We're not quite yet stylish enough. Yep, we are a little bit tight on mana, so I'm going to try to use up all of Cecil's mana. Because Rosa's out and Rydia's just about out as well. But we don't have too much further to go. To the left is nothing, so we're going to go right. And what do we have here? These Artemis arrows are unreal. They do just, like, silly damage. We're going to hold off on those because they're a little bit precious. But we'll hang on to them for sure. An elixir in there. I mean, we're going to need that, I think. Alright, a couple of level ups for the girls. We're actually doing fine. Well, actually, Cecil could use a top up. What am I talking about? And over here, we can take the steps down. Check out a couple of these rooms down here. Ooh, I think Defossil is new. Now, this guy with the little flames dancing around him, I feel like is exactly from Final Fantasy VI, which is awesome. Fortunately, he's not too strong. He looks more intimidating, I think, than he is. He just casts, like, Curse, which we mentioned it before when we were talking about the Ancient Sword, but it just, like, halves your defense and attack, and it's not persistent outside of battle. So it's just kind of whatever. Tier 3, I'll take that. Could end up coming in handy. And somewhat nicely, Kane is up to 3,000 hit points in the 3,000s, which is good. We got pretty beat up there. Oh boy. That's going to be just about all of Cecil's MP, I would say. So we might be getting close to actually using some ethers now, and I think we probably should. Maybe that last one was unnecessary, but it's gonna be fine. All right, let's keep going. Ooh, we're getting deeper and deeper. And we remember this guy. He's pretty easy now. We've gotten a couple more levels up, so this is going to be even easier than it was before. And we even got some new gear. So we'll just use the same strategy we use every time we fight these guys, which is defending with everyone and just hitting with our hardest hitters, which are going to, of course, be Kane and Cecil. Probably throw down a Tier 3, though. He still deals a lot of damage, despite the fact that we've gotten quite a few levels up since last time we dealt with these. Tier 2 is probably fine, actually. I definitely need to be paying attention to my casts. And the Stardust Wand. We're not going to end up using it, but
It does give plus 15 intelligence and cast Comet when you use it as an item, which is pretty cool.
Cecil could use a top up too. Oh, there's another challenge weapon. I can't wait. Okay, Fatal Eyes are new, and I'm going to go ahead and fight this one, although this may end up being more resource intensive than I want. But the reason I'm going to do this is because... Sure. These have a glitch associated with them that was actually fixed for the American version that I don't think was fixed for the Japanese version, which is for his countdown spell, if you just hold down A, it will never kill you. There's a look at Sylph. We haven't gotten to see that yet. And if he accidentally does it on the same character, it starts the clock over, but it makes these things very, very non-threatening if it can't actually kill you. It does have an absolute boatload of HP, and the reward is not really worth it for killing it. You should just run away, but we'll kill one of them. Because you can just end up losing a bunch of party members that you then have to raise, and it's just kind of the worst. And you can see he's just hanging in there, but we made it through. Okay. You only get 8,000 XP for that guy. What a pain. Let's take on another trap chest. Now this is serious. These guys are no joke. And I don't have any MP for Rydia, so I think it's time that she actually gets some. I should have probably done this before we began this fight, but we'll be okay. Yeah, red dragons can do a double physical attack that's just devastating, especially if it happens to land on the same party member. Yeah, 1,000 to Rydia right there. Yikes. Blizzard is quite damaging as well. That one is still not down. Oh dear. Yeah, let's drop a virus. And I'm almost in like tier 4 territory, so let's just do it. That got a little hectic. I'm gonna stop throwing ninja stars now, though. I think we're good. Yeah, it's a red one, so let's do an ice 3. That should work, although these things have weird resistances where it doesn't work out the way you think it might. So I may have gotten this wrong, we'll see. If I give him a full heal, I'm going to be very upset. Okay. That works. Like, 8,000 is what you need to be dealing those guys, but we get 105,000 gil and 17,000 XP for winning that fight, which is fantastic. And we get the Crystal Shield. Now, this is going to be Cecil's final stylish upgrade. And while it's not as good as the Dragoon stuff, it is still pretty good.
Basically, by the time we have a full set of Crystal and the full set of Dragoon that we already have, both Cecil and Kane are going to be resistant to pretty much everything.
Protect Ring. And I'm going to definitely give that to Edge, because he really, really needs the help. Like, he needs defense just so badly. So we're going to leave one of those on him, although you could definitely make an argument for putting one on each of the girls. Now, I think down is where I want to go first. Yeah. Okay, this one's gonna be no trouble. I could maybe be spending ninja stars on these guys, but like, nah. They're at such a premium, and we still have, believe it or not, like a number of challenge fights to go. So I don't want to be too hasty, like we need to be paying pretty close attention to our resources. I am definitely cutting this close. Oh, geez, 1,300. 1,300 to Cecil, 65 to Rydia. You figure that one out. This ought to do it right here, though, I would think. Alrighty. Everyone leveled up. That's sweet. And I get my crystal mail. We are getting nice and stylish now. Oh, yeah. All right, now let's take the northern door. And this one is going to be trapped as well. Double red dragon is no joke, so I'm actually going to get out some ninja stars for this, I think. And we'll just use some ice magic and some healing stuff to take care of these guys, but it's definitely dangerous. Yeah, I guess we can just attack. I don't want to spend too many more ninja stars. We will be finding a couple more in here, but I still want to watch it. It is interesting, though, that, you know, this is commonly referred to as the easy type version, although easy type does have differences from this one as well. Ow. 1,000 Rydia there, yikes. But it is cool that we ended up getting, like, a bug fix. So some things actually work better in this version. Although I maintain the fact that I haven't really needed to buy items. And I've done basically zero grinding. And we're here in the final dungeon doing pretty much just fine. Does speak to the fact that this is significantly easier than originally intended. That being said, I find that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this version, and it's still super playable even today. Which is why I'm playing it. You know, the nostalgia is certainly a factor. But mostly, I just think this game is really good. And you might be wondering, well, you know, I've been talking about the Japanese version this whole time. But really, that's just because I felt like people would feel like I do, where I was just curious about what's missing from this game. Triggers are new, so I guess we can leave this in. And he says weak against thunder. So he wants you to cast thunder on him. So you know what? We're not going to fall for his tricks, though. I thought about doing it, but I also don't have the MP, which factored into that decision. But what I was saying is that, you know, you might be thinking, well, shouldn't I just play the Japanese version? Then it's got all the cut content you're talking about. But I don't really feel like a lot of it matters very much. Like, I still think that this game holds up very, very well. And this is the version I remember from my childhood. So this is the version we're playing. And I think it's just fantastic. This final dungeon is so epic. It's just so perfect for, you know, a capstone to a great game. I just absolutely love it. And what do we have here, you might wonder? The white shirt, which is of course going to go on Rosa. I should say robe, but it just looks like a shirt to me. I can't help it. That's going to be one of her final pieces of gear. And now before we head down those stairs to the right, we're going to want to take a left. Oh, this is a really easy trap chest. Okay, cool. This will be no problem at all. Let's just keep casting Psych, even though it never does anything. But I'm just going to kind of get through this without burning too many ethers. $4,000. Way to go, Cecil. Man, we're getting beefier and beefier here. And I think after this chest, I want to check out where we are level-wise. Crystal Helmet. Let's go. And now we are wearing an outfit made fully out of crystal. And we're sitting at, Cecil is level 52. So we're close. This is going to be really, really close. Rydia is probably my main concern. Basically, the main thing we're worried about is being able to take 2,600 damage to the party almost every round of combat. Now, I just wanted to show you that platform over to the right. It kind of looks like it would go somewhere, but it does not. So let's pop in here. A free cabin. Neat. It's not nearly as exciting as crystal equipment, but good nonetheless. All right, and here we are on B6. And this is probably the most exciting floor, I would say. More Artemis arrows. I love that. God, those are strong. And I think it's going to be elixir time. Let's just give Rosa a full amount of MP. Okay, awesome. Rydia just learned nuke. Oh, yeah. Let's get that a little bit higher up. Yeah, let's get Virus up here. Quake is, like, kind of useful, but once again, it's just a worse Titan. None of these other spells I'm ever going to cast, but there is one more. But I don't think we're ever going to get to a level where we learn it. Another Ninja Star, I will take that. Now let's take the left side. And before we head back up, we want to go left. And the reason why is that there's an invisible bridge here. And if we head inside this room, there's a secret teleporter, just secrets everywhere. And this is where we find the real good stuff. And after a few teleporters, you saw this pathway earlier. So we can finally trek all the way back and find a couple of really sweet things here. Now, we should be pretty good at taking Behemoths out now. Yeah, we're doing almost 5,000 around now, so this should go pretty quick. And his attacks are damaging us significantly less than when we first met him. Which is a nice way of kind of gauging your progress. Go ahead and throw a Cure 2 down on Cecil, but I think this might be the last round. 33, okay. Boom, that went pretty quick. And another Protect Ring. And we're going to actually go ahead and give that to Rosa. And the reason why is because if your White Mage is still alive, you still have a chance. So she needs all the help she can get, because she can do things like cast Life 2 and really help to turn around a battle that's going poorly, like the final battle might. Alright, perfect. Save point, we're not going to need it, but we do want to use a cabin. Because we have a very challenging fight coming up. But with all our new gear, we should be ready to go for this. I hope that I don't regret not saving, but I don't think I will. Let's get to it. The power of this sword which Master Zemus detests shall not be released. And it's the Wyvern. Oh man. I should have probably thrown a Ninja Star there. He's gonna do a Mega Nuke, but it's not gonna be nearly as devastating. That would have wiped our whole party had that been Bahamut. We're gonna go ahead and get Rosa back to full life, and then we'll go ahead and cast some Life 2s. I mean, to be fair, I didn't think that was going to do nearly that much damage. It did pretty much level the party, but we're going to be fine. We'll get everybody back up in no time. Yep, and then he's going to cast Wall on himself, and then reflect his spells back at us. Cecil should be able to tank this just fine. Yep. But that initial salvo did mess me up pretty good. We have a little work to do to get back on our feet. Yep, that should only be around 500 again. Oh, 1,000 this time. Okay. But I am very excited to get my hands on a sword that Zemus detests. We're gonna want that for sure. There we go, he's down. Too bad Rydia didn't get the XP, 16,000. But we won the fight, which got dicier than I wanted. And what do we get? The Crystal Sword, aka the Ragnarok. And believe it or not, this thing is actually better than the Excalibur. It is unreal good.
It's going to be Holy Elemental, give plus 15 strength, stamina, and spirit, and deal extra damage to undead.
Cecil's attack is now 233. Alright, let's get Rydia back to life. But I find the series of challenge fights in this super fun and super cool. It's just always some unique new monster. I'm going to go ahead and use a tent here. Get some of that MP back. You know, it's a unique new monster, and it's also like a cool, exciting new piece of gear. And they really don't hold back with the cool gear they give you in here. Like, it is legitimately cool stuff. So this final dungeon is maybe one of my favorites in the entire series. It's just really sweet. Alright, we are trucking along level-wise. Cecil's doing great at 54, but everybody else is a little bit behind. Particularly Rydia. But it's going to be okay, because we will get one more save point before we have to head into the final battle. And we'll probably just end up using that spot to grind out a couple of levels. And what do we got over here? Monsters, of course. And this one's going to be no problem at all. Let's just drop a Lit 3 on the Warlock and just kill that right away. Carries are basically immune to magic. But I'm glad we're back in the battle screen just to show how far we've come since we walked in the door here. Cecil's at 3,600 HP. He's got a crystal sword that's just absolutely beefy. Look at that. And yeah, we're starting to get to the point where these are not taxing our resources, like, at all. I've been really just not casting much magic with Rydia to preserve my elixirs. So I've just been kind of attacking with her. Her whip does still have a chance to paralyze, so it is still mildly useful. And we get the Heroine shirt, which is pretty good, but I don't know that I like it more than the white shirt. Let's just check it out anyway, though. It's a little less magic defense, but it's like 10 more defense and more attack overall, so I think we're just gonna rock with it. It's weird, though, that you get, like, 2 legendary pieces of gear and one replaces the other while you're going through here. I think that's kind of strange. And here we are, the final save point of the dungeon. So let's go ahead and use one of our tents. And we still have a little bit of a ways to go, so I think I'm going to call it an episode right here. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Final Fantasy Friday.